God, 15 minutes, bro. Every time I answer the phone, Giselle, did she wipe your ass too? Oh my God, I can't believe it, Tom. That's wild. How many times I said, no. Don't listen to that other bullshit. Listen what I tell you. Every time some news drops, you the first person I call. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. How you get Gronk to come back? I thought he was living his best life. All of a sudden, he's like, I'm coming back. Whoa. Who the fuck's gonna stop that Tampa Bay team? That's crazy. That's crazy. Them receivers and Gronk. Damn, Brady about to have 75 touchdowns this year. Oh my God, it's crazy. I can't believe it. Rob Gronkowski just got traded from the New England Patriots to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and is coming back. And if any of you ever follow this channel, I can tell you that I called that in December. We knew Rob Gronkowski wasn't done yet. WrestleMania 37, despite being a year away, is it still in jeopardy? This, that, and some more news in between. Stay right here. Oh boy, do we have some news today, ladies and gentlemen. I was originally planning to make this video and center it around WrestleMania 37 and the event being in jeopardy. Not the event being in jeopardy to take place, but the event being in jeopardy in terms of where it's going to be located and what the situation is going to be. But unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but fortunately for me, because it gives me another news outlet, Rob Gronkowski has just announced, and the Patriots have announced, that Rob Gronkowski is being traded. His rights of Rob Gronkowski, even though he's officially retired, is being traded to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for what I believe is a 4th-round pick. It could be a 7th-round pick or something along those lines. That's one of those things I actually didn't get clearly. Now, that is the first thing that we have to talk about, because that is some crazy shit. The first thing... The first thing to talk about is definitely the Rob Gronkowski news. I think that overshadows everything, and because that news is so fresh into everybody's head. Now, Rob Gronkowski announced that he was going to retire from the Patriots, and I thought personally, and I have this documented, so nobody can sit here and tell me that I never said it. I did say that Rob Gronkowski will be back. It's a matter of time. What I didn't say is that it was going to be with Tom Brady on another team. I was not thinking at all about Rob Gronkowski. This news, actually, there was about 3 different news outlets that surfaced different things throughout today that caused it to get to that point. The first thing was Rob Gronkowski noted that he would love to play in Tampa Bay and come back and play well, not for, but with Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. The second thing that came out was Tom Brady's response, which I believe was he would love to have him there. And then we get the news that Rob Gronkowski has requested a trade from the Patriots, and now all of a sudden, it is official. I don't know if it's been made officially official, but from what I know, Rob Gronkowski will be suiting up in a red and white jersey next year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, that does a lot of things. It brings Rob Gronkowski back into the mix as a player. I still think he's talented. The problem with me, for Rob, is a lot of it is his injury and his ability to stay on the field. That's been one of his situations throughout his career. Obviously, he's put up so many great numbers, and he is one of the greatest tight ends to ever play the game of football. But for me, one of the situations for him is, again, his ability to stay on the field. But that's not going to affect Tampa Bay as much, because assuming that Gronkowski starts, which he will start as the tight end for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, pending an injury, Cameron Brate, for what we know, is still on that team, and he's a solid tight end backup. This Tampa Bay offense is about to do some things that we may have never, ever seen in football. If you look at this lineup, pending that everybody stays healthy, and you look at everybody that's on this team, you have Mike Evans, who's a monster wide receiver. You have Chris Godwin, a monster wide receiver. You have now Gronkowski. And, you know, I would assume, I don't know if he's going to be as good as he was, but we have Rob Gronkowski in this mix. And on top of that, you now have the greatest quarterback ever in Tom Brady. Now, Tom Brady obviously is a lot older. He's aged, but I still think Tom Brady is going to bring something special to Tampa Bay. And I know there's a lot of people saying he's on the decline. I do think he's on the decline. We all know he's on the decline. He's only got a couple of years left, but he does want to prove that he can win a Super Bowl elsewhere. And I do think that the way that this Tampa Bay team has embraced Tom Brady up to this point, and now surrounding him with talent, which was already there, I think that Tampa Bay is going to have a very good year. And they're going from a team that was going to be decent to very, very good now. Only thing that I think Tampa Bay really needs at this point is a consistent running back. Now, Ronald Jones is a decent option. He is a good running back. But again, there's rumors, too, of Tampa Bay Thursday night drafting a running back. You know, I think that that's the perfect piece. But I think that they want to build their defense. And their defense is already decent. They have a very good pass rush.
So the Buccaneers are going to be a really scary team, and I think a lot of that has to do with how they're supporting the arrival of Tom Brady. And I think, again, it's just going to be one of those things. It's going to be, it doesn't shock me as much as a lot of people would, but I'm surprised that it's coming now, and I'm surprised that it's kind of just happened so fast. It was one of those things where all of this news came in the time frame of just one day. So again, Rob Gronkowski is going to be joining the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I believe that that's made official. I don't know if it's completely official, but it is made official on here, and that is going to be some crazy stuff because Rob Gronkowski is an elite level talent. The only thing that hasn't been seen is his ability to stay on the field. And that's one of the things we have to see. Again, he's going to have to be heavy in training camp if this is super going to happen, because he is definitely going to have some rust. And again, we don't know what he's been practicing, but I'm sure that there have been talks long before today about him coming back. And I think that, honestly, since Tom Brady signed with Tampa, I feel like this is Tom and Rob have had numerous number of talks to go with this. Now, my initial reaction is I'm expecting Tampa Bay to be a really good team this coming season. Do I think they're going to win a Super Bowl? I think that that's very bland and very far-fetched to say about Tampa Bay winning a Super Bowl. I do think they will make the playoffs. Do they win the division in the NFC South? I don't know. I can't sit here and tell you I know the answer to that. But one of the things that that people need to realize is that, you know, these are names on Tampa Bay that are already proven. But again, we kind of had something similar. Now, I don't think they're going to have a situation like this because the names on here are too talented and too good. But I don't think that it'll be one of these situations. But there were so many people that jumped on the Cleveland Brown hype train. And we see how quickly that was derailed. I thought they were going to be good, better than they were, but I didn't think they were going to be in any Super Bowl. You know, you had players, some rookies. I don't even know how a rookie could promise a Super Bowl. You barely have your feet wet in the NFL, and you're sitting here promising a Super Bowl to a team when you have never even taken a single snap in a regular season game. So that's one of the things that I never understood. But the Cleveland Browns were a massive disappointment. They were a massive disappointment. They literally did not impress me at anything. The only thing that was impressive about the Cleveland Browns was their running back. Their wide receiver core, Odell Beckham, was massively underwhelming all year. Baker Mayfield was massively underwhelming. Their line sucked. The team wasn't good. They just weren't good. And they were hyped up to be so much better than that. Now, we're going to have to see what happens. I'm sure there'll be more news and rumors coming with that. I don't know if it's going to adjust what Tampa Bay does in the draft Thursday night. And another thing I also want to make mention, I'm going to have my NFL draft preview and predictions coming Wednesday. I could do it Thursday morning, but I feel like that's too soon. I want to give people a chance to really watch it, so I'll probably upload that on Wednesday. Not only that, I am going to... You know what I noticed too is a lot of work that actually goes into that, and that's kind of what I expected. But there's a lot of work that goes into the NFL draft because there's a lot of notes you have to take. There's a lot of teams looking. This team needs this team needs that. There's probably going to be heavy criticism from people when they watch it because that's what you expect. I'm not a draft analysis, but I do a lot of research and I take my notes and I just go with it. But that another small news, football related. Lamar Jackson is going to be on the cover of Madden 21. I think that's great. I don't really know if there's anybody that deserves it more than he does. He was a phenomenal talent last year, and I think that that's rightfully deserved. He said he's not worried about a curse. I don't think he should be because Patrick Mahomes last year was on the cover, and he was the first one to break the curse. If it was a curse, then tell me how he won the damn Super Bowl. Okay, Lamar Jackson going to be on Madden 21. Awesome, cool. Can't wait to see the cover. And hopefully they do a lot of adjustments because Madden, the people that are when they're creating Madden 21 are going to have to make a lot of adjustments because the way Madden 20 is right now, everything is just out of whack. Everything. There's so much that has happened since Madden 20 has been released. In terms of throughout the year, you know, the NFL free agency was insane. It really was just maybe the craziest NFL free agency I think we can even remember. But that's one of those things, again, we're going to have to see what happens there. But I'm going to imagine Madden 21 should be a really good game. I would hope so. There are a lot of roster changes and different things that are going to be fun to play with. And it's interesting to see how they're going to add Rob Gronkowski into Madden 21 since we were just talking about him. The final topic is wrestling related. I wanted to prioritize this video in an order of where the topics would be from most important to least important. To me, a lot of people think that the Madden 21 thing is maybe not important, but I think it's pretty important. This news to me is very important if you are a wrestling fan and you are still listening at this point in the video. WrestleMania goes Hollywood. next year, WrestleMania is scheduled to take place from the new stadium of the Rams and the Chargers. And right now, WWE, according to this, ProWrestling.com, WWE reportedly is working on a backup plan for WrestleMania 37 because they are assuming that it might not be able to take place in that area. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, the virus should be long gone by then. Life should be back and the world should be back to normal. One of the things that is affecting this that people aren't thinking about is that the stadium that WrestleMania Hollywood, WrestleMania 37 is scheduled to take place from is not built yet. Now, obviously, there's a lot of work that I would assume goes into building something as big as a goddamn stadium, excuse my language, and it's not done yet. All of this virus is putting construction and a lot of things on hold. So right now, they're not saying that WrestleMania 37 won't take place. I think WrestleMania 37 will take place. I don't know if it's going to take place from LA or Hollywood, of where they're saying it's going to take place. Right now, it doesn't look like that because, again, there's so much construction that goes into building a entire football stadium, and they're assuming that the football stadium might not be done yet. So now, WWE is looking for an alternate location for WrestleMania 37. I think the coronavirus hopefully will be all done by then. But I think the issue is not with that. I think the issue is with the fact that the stadium's not going to be completed. So how can they build it when the stadium is not completed? Or how can they have the event when the stadium's not completed? That is the issue. I think that's the way they're looking at it. Again, construction is all on hold. And I don't blame that. You know, I don't think construction really needs to be happening right now unless it's mandatory, required, critical construction. I don't think that it's something that needs to happen right now. Primarily, again, because a stadium is something that needs to be built. But again, and that affects a lot of things people don't realize is because, as far as I know, I don't think it's this year when the Chargers and Rams are supposed to start at their new stadium. So I don't really know how that affects it for you LA football fans out there. You would know that more than I would. I don't really know off the top of my head exactly where that comes into play. But again, they're looking for, and it says on here, they're reportedly working on a backup plan for WrestleMania because obviously the progress at SoFi Stadium is not complete yet. It's supposed to be home of the Chargers and Rams. It was scheduled to open this summer ahead of the 2021 season. It was officially announced last week the opening has been delayed due to the pandemic. And it also states down here, there's no timetable when major cities will be able to reopen stadiums either. That's another thing, even when it's done. So that means now that WWE is in the very early stages of a plan B for WrestleMania 37, meaning that they're expecting WrestleMania 37 to still take place, still have a crowd, still have attendance, but they don't know where it's going to be located. I don't know if they're going to try to go outside of California. I think they might try to keep California. I don't think they want to do San Francisco because they've done San Francisco a lot for different events. I don't know how open of an area, you know, other things are. I'm trying to think of other stadiums, San Francisco, LA. You know, they have different options. But again, I think that they really want to stay in California. But again, we don't know if California is going to be allowing large gatherings or if the stadium is not finished on time. So I think there's a lot of way that this thing can go wrong for WWE. But again, it's all how they're approaching it. So that's just to me one of those things where they're gonna have to see basically where everything lines up in place. I don't think WrestleMania 37 is in jeopardy. I think the location of the event is in jeopardy, and that's what it's stating here. Okay, but again, you don't know that either. Maybe LA or Los Angeles, California, being as popular and populated as it is, maybe they're not allowing you know, certain things to take place at that time. Even the other day, this is not really news related. Well, The Rock was saying he'd love to have a match with Roman Reigns. And to be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I really wouldn't. I'm not the biggest Roman Reigns fan in the ring, but to be honest with you, I can't sit here. Look at this. I can't sit here and tell you that I wouldn't be interested in that. But The Rock has to go over. But he won't. Roman Reigns will go over. And I don't really want to see Roman Reigns beat The Rock. So, that's just the news for today. I can go on with this much longer, but I think that with certain news articles and certain things, you kind of want to get them presented a lot earlier. And that's kind of one of those things, you know, where when news drops, usually the person that kind of gets to it first and has their own video on it tends to get a lot more views and tends to get a lot more publicity, and that's kind of what we're looking for here early in the early stages. But ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate you watching. I always highly urge you to subscribe, as always, because you wouldn't want to miss this or anything else that is in between. Thank you so much for watching. Yours truly.